I have a good Dr. Insanity here. Guard helps a killer inmate escape prison.
I'm going to tell you right now, pause it. I'm going on record. This is going to be one of the best ones we have ever seen, because this is some sick shit. Why are you laughing?
I'm just like, there's no way this is real.
This has happened multiple...
A guard helps a killer inmate
This has happened multiple times.
How have I not heard about this?
Oh, yeah. How about the one chick? She worked in that prison upstate. She was banging the two guys, and she helped them escape. They were banging her, and she helped them escape.
So they were ganging her?
No, separately.
Oh.
It's the 29th of April, 2022. CCTV records prison supervisor Vicki enter through a back door. Half a minute later, she comes back out with a prisoner, Casey White, a 6'9" giant of a criminal serving 75 years for attempted murder. They quickly leave in the car as police scramble to make sense of the situation. Vicki, a prison supervisor with a 2-decade-long career and perfect record, just disappeared with a dangerous criminal. Police assumed that she was forced or manipulated into helping him escape. But that's when new evidence came to light, showing that she might have planned the entire thing. As a nationwide manhunt began, police would realize the rabbit hole went deeper than anyone expected, leading them down a dark path, ending with Vicki found dead with a bullet in her head.
What?
Vicki, stay with us! Vicki!
Yo, pause this. I don't know who Dr. Insanity actually is, if it's a person or what. I'm telling you right now.
You're different, bro.
These are so good. The quality.
These are cinematic.
It's amazing. And the feedback that I get personally when I'm out in the world, I told you this. People will tell me, I love when you and your son do the Dr. Insanity. I look forward to them. These are so fucking good.
It's April 29th, 2022,
oh, here we go.
and prison officer Vicki has just told her work colleagues that she's taking a prisoner to a psychological evaluation at a local courthouse. But something isn't right, as she's transporting the prisoner alone, despite rules mandating prisoners must be escorted by 2 officers at a time. But because of her senior position as a supervisor, nobody stops her. And it would be 6 hours before police realize that Vicki and the prisoner are never coming back. Desperate for clues, police start looking into the man that Vicki escaped with. It was Casey White, a man serving 75 years in prison for domestic violence, home invasion.
Dude, just go back a second. Go back. Play it.
Desperate for clues, police start looking into the man that Vicki escaped with. It was...
Dude, each one of his ears is 1.5 foot. Look at the size of those ears.
Didn't he like try to put a wig on and try to go to a women's prison?
Nah, that was another guy.
That was another 6'9" guy?
This guy's ears are so enormous. They're about... Each ear is about 18 inches. Look at this, because this guy's an enormous man. Look at the size of those fucking... Look at the size of those jumbo fucking ears.
Is that a nipple?
No.
And is that a deformed nipple?
And he's got the fucking Nazi with the Third Reich with the SS and the fucking... Oh, yeah, this guy's got the Nazi shit.
Oh, my God, there's a Oh, God.
Casey White,
this guy's fucking
a man serving
straight
75
up
years
Nazi.
in prison for domestic violence, home invasion, murder, and brutally attacking a man with an axe. But there was...
So... All those things plus brutally attacking a man with an axe.
By the way, and just to throw it in for good measure, he fucking attacked the guy with an axe.
Invasion, murder, and brutally attacking a man with an axe. But there was one crime that stood out to police even more. 7 years prior to this, Casey had abused and manipulated his then-girlfriend to a point where she tried to escape from Casey's vicious hands. After they successfully made it to her friend's house, Casey would break into the house with 2 guns and full intent to murder them both. Luckily, they both escaped and survived his vicious attack. But that's when Casey fled the scene and began a series of carjackings across several states, until finally getting into a tense standoff with multiple...
This guy, the other problem you got here too, this guy's 6'9". This guy can't blend in. This guy's got no shot of blending in. And he's doing carjackings, he's running around like a maniac, hacking people up, trying to kill girlfriends and family friends, hijacking multiple people. This guy, how does he even fit? Let's say he wants to hijack a car. let's say a subcom.
Yeah, you can't be.
No.
You cannot be a 6'9" criminal.
my car. I don't think a 6'9" guy could fit in my car. I'm gonna be honest with you. My car, I have a mid-sized car. I don't think this guy could fit in my car. So you're gonna hijack? You're gonna carjack some? What if somebody has a subcompact?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, this guy needs something.
This guy
needs an Escalade. This guy needs a what's the other one? The Lincoln Navigator, a Suburban, a Tony Soprano Suburban. This guy needs a large vehicle. What's this guy gonna do? This guy's gonna jump in a fucking Prius?
Put the gun down, Casey. No.
Possibly, yeah.
Put the gun down, bud.
Hey, put the gun down. Just relax a little bit.
Go get that or two and tell her to watch you.
Hey, Casey.
Yes, sir.
I will get you a sundrop if you'll be still. Just be calm.
You ain't got no more gun on you, dude.
No, you got this fucking that.
It's unusual, but the cops rolled a drink and a pack of cigarettes towards Casey, hoping this would calm him down and avoid a shootout.
What?
Miraculously, this actually worked, and the cops were able to move in and make an arrest. His interrogation gave cops an even clearer view into just how insane this man was.
I've been trying to wait just to kill her ever since. I couldn't wait no longer. I had to do it tonight.
Do you regret what you did tonight?
I regret I didn't kill him.
Police now had a clear...
Bro, why would you sit... Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Why would you sit in a room with this guy and he's not shackled and held down with multiple, like, you know, chains and everything else? This guy will jump up and snap your fucking neck.
Do you regret anything? Yeah, I regret not killing them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you got this woman sitting there, some fucking... I don't know what her fucking deal is. She's sitting there, she's interviewing a homicidal maniac. This woman is like trying to have a normal conversation with this fucking psychopath. This guy could jump up and fucking rip their heads off in about 2 seconds.
Nah, this is insane, bro.
You got no cuffs on? I wouldn't go in a room with this guy. This guy might sexually assault you.
Jesus Christ, bro.
This guy might, you know.
Picture of who Vicki just helped escape prison. But how does Vicki fit into all of this? She works at a completely different prison, and there's no plans for Casey to ever see outside these walls again. Well, 1 year later, Casey confessed to a murder, resulting in him being moved to a different prison. This kicked off a series of events that would eventually result in Vicki's death. The murder that Casey confessed to was a 4-year-old cold case. It's unclear why Casey owned up to it now, but he was able to give specific details that nobody but the killer could have known.
Why is this guy still breathing fucking air? Like, I understand that you got a lot of these people with the death penalty and this and that and the other thing. Bro, a guy like this should just not be walking amongst people anymore. Like, forget about putting him in a jail. Because obviously this woman, I don't know if he was giving her the cock. He was probably giving her the cock.
You think he was giving
cock?
cock?
He was giving her the cock. So statistically, he's 6'9". The cock was probably 1.5 feet.
What the fuck?
And so he was giving her the cock. The
Foot and a half cock? What are you talking about?
Minimum 16 inches. He's giving it to her. She's never had anything like this before in her life. Because her husband probably, you know, her husband works in a quick check. And he's the guy's half disabled. She works at the prison. She's getting a 16-incher from this guy. Why do you think she risked life and limb to get him out? What do you think this is about, bro? It's about the guy's working with 1.5 feet, and she recognized it. That's what's going on here. Let's be perfectly honest between me and you. Why else do you think she broke him out? Now, with that being said, this fucking maniac is running around. They got to execute this guy. What are you going to do? Because it'll happen again. Somebody else will break him out. Possibly a dude. Because this guy probably doesn't care. Men, women, you know. This guy's just, you know exactly
So
what.
you think this guy's fucking everyone, men, women, doesn't care. He's trying to just escape with
Of
his
course.
cock.
Oh, no, this guy has morals and everything else. He's a fucking maniac, this guy. He's a psychopath.
After a short trial, he was quickly transported to a new prison, the same one where Vicki worked. Vicki is 56 and has been divorced for several years and put her heart and soul into her job.
she's lonely.
She
She's
was
a
a
lonely
model
woman.
employee and popular among her colleagues, but her life had become boring and lonely. She wanted to change. And when Casey showed up, that's exactly what she got.
we
They
know what's
slowly
happening.
began
Let's
to
go.
talk more and
does it
developed
say?
a connection. They bonded over their shared
nice.
last
What the
name
fuck?
and
Where'd you
began to
get
think
this?
that they were destined to be together. She started coming in on her days off and was noticeably happier. Despite having a great life on paper, Vicki had become enchanted by her feelings for Casey and was ready to throw it all away
What'd I say?
to be with a dangerous criminal. But how can this happen? Well, it turns out it's not as rare as you might think. Some people are attracted to dangerous people. They know they could kill them at any moment, but feel special knowing that they choose not to. On top of that, Vicki had started to feel trapped in her day-to-day life and as though she had nothing to live for. If she could make a break with Casey, it'd at least be exciting, even if it did mean throwing everything away. While Casey was serving at Lauderdale, Vicki allowed him unrestricted access to parts of jail that prisoners aren't normally allowed to.
And she also gave him unrestricted access to her vagina and butthole and breast. Are you in agreement with me?
I mean, that's what it's looking like, yeah.
oh, 100%.
I mean, you don't have to verbalize it like that.
Well, how else can I make? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm having a conversation with you. How should I not? What should I do? Speak in code? This woman gave him unfeathered access to the prison grounds, and unfeathered access to her. I'll say it. I'll say it. There might be some Spanish-speaking people out here. She gave him.
Yeah.
She gave him unfeathered. Wait, I was
You're
trying.
good.
I was trying to say it without. I was trying to say it without fucking laughing. God damn it! It's funnier when I don't. All right. She gave him unfeathered access to her culo, her chocha, and her tetas.
See, including
For
areas
my-
that
hold
aren't
on.
covered by
For my Spanish-speaking brethren out there,
security cameras. Many speculate this
Cha-cha,
is where the
baby!
pair were intimate
Culo
with each
and
other and
tetas,
formed their
oye!
plan to escape.
Hold on,
Even
right?
at this point, Vicki still had no idea that this would turn out to be the worst mistake
Old wrinkly pussy.
of her entire life. 3 days before their escape, they decided
Old wrinkly loose pussy.
to do a test run after Vicki told her colleagues that Casey had an appointment with a
Yikes.
judge at the courthouse. Of course, there was no appointment, and they just sat in her patrol car for 9 minutes.
somebody just typed. Are you ready for this? Somebody just typed, "Pussy is pussy."
Well, I mean, if it's what you're saying is true, if he is an 18-incher, I'm pretty sure there's no loose,
Minutes
Oh,
before
yeah.
returning. But now they know this works, and they're ready to make preparations for the real thing. 2 days before their escape, they're spotted on camera passing notes. It's thought that this was them discussing the final part of their escape plan, but by the time this footage was discovered, it was already too late. By April 29th, 2022, everything was in
this is
place,
not
and
like-
they're ready to make
this
their
is not
escape.
like ancient history. This
As
is like a
Vicki
couple
holds
years
a
ago.
senior post at the prison, she has certain powers that she's about to take advantage of.
guy just typed, I'm low-key bricked right now. How are you getting horny off this?
No, because he's thinking about. Listen, he's imagining a sexual scenario in his head.
That's how I know you guys are gooners, bro. Like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like somehow making this into like a porn thing.
Of.
Yeah.
She arranges to send 12 inmates and 5 deputies to court on the day of the escape, leaving her as the last remaining officer in the prison with transport privileges. She
throwing-
then tells her
Bro, you're throwing your entire life away. You can't see your children. You're gonna run away with this fucking freak, and you're never gonna see your children or family again. You're giving it all up because of this maniac. This guy's a homicidal killer. What do you think he's gonna do with you? Hang out and play house with you and watch Game of Thrones and get pizza? No, he's gonna fucking murder you, you stupid bastard.
bosses that Casey has to be taken for a mental health evaluation. Looking at the surveillance footage, it's clear something was up. Vicki has her firearm with her, something that is strictly forbidden inside the prison walls. She's also walking in front of Casey instead of behind him, showing she trusts him not to harm her. By helping Casey to escape, esteemed prison officer Vicki has thrown everything she had away, and in one pivotal moment has become a criminal.
Vicky's always been a good girl I went to school with. It's got to be other people involved, and Vicky's just a scapegoat.
I've said this to you before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't understand. I cannot comprehend it. My mind, I cannot understand how an adult person walks around with missing teeth. That would be my number one priority in life, to get a full set of chompers in my fucking head. I don't understand how there are full-grown adults, and you're saying, oh, it's a financial okay. But there are also situations where you can plead to these. They have these dentists, like you heard about this thing, like Doctors Without Borders, like they do like these charity cases. There are dentists that do like charity cases for people. You just have to research it. There's no way a grown person should be walking around with fucking teeth missing, bro. Yes or no? What are your thoughts?
I mean, a guy keeps spamming no teeth feels good as hell, though. I don't know what the fuck that means, bro.
Well, listen, there's people out there that get into relationships and they have all their teeth removed. And they get false teeth so that when they perform a certain act, they pop the teeth out and it has better suction. Because it's all gums. There's no teeth.
It's called getting gummed, bro. Alright, unpause this shit.
You knew her, you loved her.
I feel like if she had anything to do with it, it was definitely love.
Vicki and Casey casually walk out of the prison into a patrol car and drive away to freedom. It took 6 hours before anyone noticed they're missing. When the prison calls the courthouse to see what's taking so long, they're told that there is no appointment, and they come to the horrible realization that Casey has made a break for freedom. To evade the authorities, they quickly ditch the patrol car and flee the state, and the cops now have no clue where they are, where they're going, or how to find them, marking the start of an 11-day manhunt that will span the nation. On day 1 of Vicki and Casey's escape, the cops try to find clues at Vicki's home, but she's nowhere to be seen. In fact, she doesn't even own the house anymore. As part of her plan, she sold her house for extremely cheap. With the money, she bought vehicles, guns, and most suspiciously, men's clothing. This is the first indication the cops have that Vicki doesn't intend on coming back and is ready to start a new life with Casey. Things don't get any better for detectives when the patrol vehicle they used to escape is found abandoned at a local shopping mall.
Wait a minute. Is this Dr. Insanity actually speaking? Or is this like an AI? Like, I don't understand. Is this actually the guy talking?
I don't know. There might be different people.
I need to know more about you, Dr. Insanity, because these are you said it. These are like what's the word you used?
Cinematic?
These are cinematic. This is amazing shit. So, listen, I know we take a lot of shit for granted and we expect certain things. I don't know if this is you speaking or you hired an actor or whatever's going on. This is tremendous, dude. I love these. I love them.
And even worse, there's no surveillance footage covering that area of the parking lot, so they don't even know which direction they went.
Jesus
but on
Christ.
day 2 of the manhunt, a tip-off from her family blows this case wide open, as it's revealed.
Who the fuck is that? It's a reporter?
What?
Who's that chick? Is she a reporter?
Of the manhunt, a tip-off from her family blows this case wide open, as it's revealed
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know who that is.
That's what I'm saying. Do you don't know who that is?
No.
She's the reporter. Do we know? I mean, do we know her name? Who that is? Jesus.
Dude.
Wow. That's.
No, you have problems.
Why do I have?
You actually have problems.
I'm asking a question.
No,
Why
you
do
have
I have problems?
You have issues.
Whoa.
No, that's an issue.
I'm watching a video. I'm asking a question. Why
would you ever need to know her name?
Why am I getting personally attacked?
Why do you need to know her name?
I'm asking a question. This chick walks in. I'm like, who is that? I'm not allowed to ask a question? All right, you know what?
Vicki has been renting a storage unit. Police are able to locate the storage unit and discover that she was renting it with a burner phone. But despite their best effort to track this new number...
Bro, you have a burner phone? You're a sketchy fuck. You have a burner phone? You're into some shit.
The cops came up with nothing, but the existence of this new phone is the first solid evidence that cops have showing Vicki planned this all along and was actually a willing participant instead of a hostage.
Did you get the sense they were actually doing this together? He was not forcing her in any way.
Right. No, he was not forcing her. It was a mutual relationship.
You'd think that this would help the investigation, but things only get more insane and confusing from here on out. After realizing that they're essentially back to square one, the cops return to the shopping mall where they found the abandoned patrol car and decide to comb through all the surveillance footage from the days leading up to the event. That's when they spot Vicki a few days before the escape, parking a car in a nearby parking lot. And this isn't her usual car either. It's one she bought only a couple days earlier, a 2007 Ford Edge that the cops quickly realized had to be their getaway vehicle.
Damn.
But when police went back to the parking lot and the supposed getaway vehicle was still there, they realized that Vicki had left a decoy. Police had just lost it.
She threw a decoy.
Dude, she's fucking smart. Holy shit, she's smart.
This is phenomenal.
Their only clue, while giving Vicki and Casey a 5-day head start. But since they abandoned the Ford, the cops assumed that they have to have found another vehicle in the area, and lo and behold, they quickly picked up another lead. A homeowner nearby told them he sold his Ford F-150.
I think that's a terminology that's not used enough. Lo and behold. How often we don't use that enough. You look at something and go, lo and behold. I love that saying. I want to use it more in my life. I just don't have the need for it. But I would like to use lo and behold.
50 pickup truck to a man who approached his house on the day Vicki and Casey went missing. That man is described as being around 6 feet 9 inches tall and looked exactly like the picture he was shown. Now all they have to do is find that Ford F-150 and bring this manhunt to an end. And thanks to another lead, they're closing in. On day 6, the owner of a car wash in Indiana noticed something strange. A Ford F-150 had been parked in one of the cleaning bays for an unusual amount of time, and he suspects this vehicle has been abandoned. Unfortunately, this is before a search was initiated for the truck, but something's still not right. This pickup truck is far too nice to have been dumped by anyone sane, and the owner quickly grew suspicious. In order to find out, he checks out the car wash surveillance footage, and what he finds will help the cops finally capture their 2 fugitives.
Wow.
That's Casey getting out of the pickup. And he's acting very strangely. He's waiting for Vicki, and she's in that car driving just out of shot. When Casey gets in the new vehicle, leaving their pickup and driving off, the owner knows they're up to no good and calls.
Bro, why would you dump it inside of a car wash bay?
Just park it somewhere.
I mean, dude, leave it in some random fucking Kmart or whatever. Why would you?
A parking garage.
Why would you? Bro, underground parking?
Underground parking.
No one ever checks underground parking. But instead you leave it. Well, that's but again, this is why these people are stupid fucking idiot criminals, and that's why they get caught and go to jail. Why would you leave the car in a car wash bay? I mean, people go there and they're like, "Oh, there's a car sitting here." Put it in a fucking park somewhere.
It's 911.
There's a truck been sitting in my bay since yesterday at 3 o'clock.
You see?
I looked at my cameras and the guy's kind of suspicious. It's a Ford F-150 4-door truck. It's blue in color. It's got Tennessee license plates on it. And I've got him on camera.
The next day, cops arrive at the car wash and initiate a search of the truck.
Is it returns to a Dodge?
Yep. You got it outside now.
With nothing to go off of, the cops quickly leave the scene and the pickup is towed away. It takes 4 days for this vital lead to get back to detectives, but when it does, they drop
You know what my dad told me when I was a very young guy? So they said they matched up tattoos. You know what he said to me? I was very young. He goes, "Don't get any tattoos because if you commit a crime, they can identify you." He actually said it to me when I was a very young kid.
Okay, but how about just don't commit a crime?
I understand that, but he was saying, don't get tattoos in case you actually commit a crime, and they can't connect the tattoos.
Also, if you know that you're wanted, why would you wear a T-shirt exposing your tattoos? Why would you not have a hoodie on with a mask?
A hoodie with a mask, because you know that that look at
like a COVID
look
mask.
at Luigi Mangione, the guy who fucking whacked out the CEO. He's walking around with a mask on. You can get away with that shit now. You know, you're a germaphobe, whatever the fuck. So you can walk around with a hoodie on, a baseball cap, and a mask. You know who wears a mask all the time? Leonardo DiCaprio. He always has the same thing. The black hat, the mask. He wears black t-shirt and black jeans. That's what he wears all the time. He's trying to he wants to be incognito.
Everything and head straight to Evansville on day 10 of the hunt. They're due to arrive at the car wash at 9 a.m., but fail to show up on time, frustrating the car wash owner so much that he takes matters into his own hands and calls the local press.
So then, 9:30, they're not here. So I get on the phone to Fox News. I said, y'all want a story? Yeah, we like a story. I said, I got one. So I got a convict over at my car wash. I got him on camera. He said, you talking about the one in Kentucky? I said, no, I'm talking about the one in Alabama with the girl. I said, okay, we'll be right there. They showed up. They got there 10 minutes before the marshals.
U.S. Marshals arrive during the media frenzy, and when they take a look at the surveillance footage, they realize they've found the car Vicki and Casey could still be driving, a Cadillac, and one that Vicki and Casey think is completely unknown to the cops. It seems like their days on the run are numbered, but even with the leads they have, they come up with nothing, and the cops are starting to realize their fugitives could be anywhere in the country. But as it turns out, they're closer to
So if it
home.
wasn't for cameras, they would never find these people.
Bro, the world we live in right now, for the most part, you can't get away with shit. There's cameras everywhere. People have cameras on their front door, businesses, this street. Bro, walk around New York City. I don't care where you go in NYC. There's fucking, you're constantly on a camera. So when you hear about, oh, we can't find this guy or we don't know what's going on, bro, stop. New York City has cameras fucking everywhere. You walk out of a store, whatever. I'm just saying, man. Like, you can't get, yeah, you're right. You can't get away with this shit, bro. What kind of guy Luigi Mangione? Fucking went out, he fucking whacked that guy right out.
Than anyone thinks. Back in Evansville on day 11, a cop is on his way home from a long shift when he sees a familiar-looking vehicle parked outside a Motel 41. It looks like the same Cadillac from the car wash, and he hastily takes down the license plate. The problem is, the license plate of the Cadillac seen at the car wash was never seen, so they have no way of knowing if it's the same vehicle. But they do have the license plate of the recovered F-150, so, grasping at straws, they decide to run that through their license plate reader, and when they do, they strike gold. Several traffic cameras have picked up the F-150, and following it in nearly every shot is a Cadillac. A Cadillac whose license plate perfectly matched the one at Motel 41 right in front of them. Finally, by sheer luck, the cops have found their fugitives. All they have to do now is bring them in. First, deputy marshals find strategic positions around the motel. They're all in plain clothes and unmarked vehicles, hoping to be as covert as possible. But while the cops surround them, Vicki and Casey are in room 150 watching the TV in horror right as the discovery of the Ford F-150 hits the news. The plan was to bring Vicki and Casey in quietly, but before they get a chance to put their plan into action, Vicki walks out of the hotel room and throws a bag into the Cadillac. She's followed by Casey, and even though they're in disguise, there's no mistaking Casey White's massive frame. Casey gets behind the wheel, and the Cadillac takes off. The cops' plan has been completely foiled once again, but they've got a backup. They're going to follow them and try to box them in to avoid a confrontation, but before they get a chance, they realize they've been spotted. Casey turns onto US Highway 41 and hits the accelerator, taking the cops on a chase across traffic and through parking lots until he manages to make a break for freedom by driving straight through an open field. At around the same time, police dispatch receives a call from none other than Vicki herself, and it gives you an idea of how terrifying this chase really is.
God. Airbags are going on. Let's get out. Hotel.
A police vehicle forces Casey to drive straight into a ditch, and this pursuit is brought to a sudden halt. But it's far from over, as cops know the pair are armed and could open fire at any point.
Bro, her life, so what she did was she's divorced, she has kids, she has a rock solid job with a great pension. Instead, what happened was, at some point, this guy showed her the hammer. He showed her the hammer. She got all these weird thoughts. Something happened between the two of them, and all of her sanity went right out the window. She has a child or children, good job, good pension. Just go about your business and live your life. This fucking lunatic comes in.
You're blaming his dick.
The dick was the cause of all of this.
It's in some kind of Bonnie and Clyde inspired shootout.
Crash out. Honey, crash out.
Did she die? Dude, she might have died.
Please, check him out. You're not out of that shit.
Thanks, my wife. That's a best woman in the world right there. Please, that's the best woman in the world. Vicki, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry, baby. Anybody in this world don't deserve it. She don't.
That's his voice? Jesus, that's not what I was expecting. That's his voice? Oh my God, dude. That's not what I was expecting. Jesus Christ.
She's herself and hit me. But y'all ain't gonna believe me. I'm gonna say I killed her. Just like y'all say I killed everybody else.
Finally, after 11 days, the manhunt has come to an end, and they've got Casey unharmed in handcuffs. But Vicki met a much more devastating end. Just 2 weeks ago, she was an upstanding member of society, an esteemed prison officer respected by those around her. Now, she's a fugitive, laying in a criminal's stolen car, conscious, but with devastating injuries.
Yeah, it's over.
Alright, Davis, you good with anything? No, she's good. She's still got it in her hand. Yes, gotta go. Alright, watch. Medic right here, medic. Get back! It's still in her hand?
Wow.
Yeah, it's in her hand. Still breathing. I gotta break this center up here.
Can you go in?
Well, I think we can reach in and get the gun. It'd probably be easier in the windshield.
Oh, see if it'll open. Good idea. We got cover? Yeah. It's opening. It's opening. You got me? Yeah. I'm gonna go for the gun first. All right, pull me out. All right, I got it.
She's been shot in the head, and Casey claims she took her own life. When cops get a better look, they find her finger is still on the trigger of the gun. Later that day, Vicki was pronounced dead in a nearby hospital. We'll never really know what the two had planned for their life together after their escape. Whether they wanted to go off the grid and settle down, or live the rest of their lives on the run. Well, it turns out, Casey never planned to keep Vicki around at all. He described her as a liability, and someone that didn't have the mind for this sort of thing. It's likely that she would have been ditched shortly after this point, or killed by Casey anyway, as he was found guilty of first-degree prison escape and sentenced to life behind bars. He'll be 98 years old before he gets a chance at parole, so this terror of a man will likely be off the streets.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
the day he died.
this one was this was excellent. Bro, Dr. Insanity you don't miss, man. I don't know.
That's such a weird story. Like, we'll never get her side.
Her side? What do you mean her side? What side do you look? What side? You know what it was. It was like a love thing, dude. She had this sad, lonely, miserable, boring existence. And she comes across this guy, you know, I gotta be honest with you. This guy is sweet-talking women with that stupid fucking voice and accent. Did you hear that voice and accent? That was insane. That guy's sweet-talking anybody? Jesus Christ.
Los will be featured on Dr. Insanity one day. Nice, man. That's a nice thing to say, bro.